There he is. Where are you, Matt? I was somewhere else. Sorry about that. But I'm streaming now in my Awesome Wood Things t-shirt. Yeah, the set's a little different. I got a camera over there that's not supposed to be over there. I wonder if I can, play with that a little bit, get that going. We'll see if we can have some fun with this while we're trying to find out if anyone shows up. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do here. It's the bald head cam. Why don't we do... Why is it like that? Why isn't it bigger? Oh, there we go. Did you bring a doctor's note? Well, I didn't, but I was editing a video and didn't get around to pushing the stream button. There we go. Is that interesting? I don't think that's very interesting to look at. Oh my goodness. Are there any questions? What? That's not what I wanted. If there's any questions out on the interwebs, I will take them. And I'll answer 2 for the price of 1, since I was a little bit late. I caught your stream today, Dave. Fridays are a little easier for me now because I'm not working Fridays to save money. They're only paying me 4 days a week instead of 5. But hey, what can I do? What can I do? Alrighty. Let me push some buttons here. Take a look at a few things. Dave says, excellent. Did you say it like this? Excellent. Yep, streaming late. Should not have done that. And we've got... pushing some buttons here. 3 people watching. I think that's you, me, and the Stream Elements bot. There you go. Dave's having fun. Yes, I showed up, Steve. What the heck? I was editing a video and lost track of time, and then I got hungry, and then I made myself something to eat, the family something to eat, and then came up here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm late. And I'm wearing black, which I hardly ever wear on camera, at least in this office. Awesome Wood Things, baby. Things made out of wood that are awesome. Have you been following the YouTube drama? Oh my God. I want my admission price back since you were late. All right. Well, as soon as I do the math, so 0 times 2 is what now? No, there was a YouTuber that would put whole unedited episodes of Japanese anime up on the screen and do reactions, typically consisting of 3 minutes worth of ha ha ha's and 18 minutes worth of footage. Basically, stealing copyrighted material and then charging people for it and using AdSense for it. And, so that's like a gray area of copyright law. I mean, is it fair use because she was adding value to it? Well, her value was specious at best. But any criticism of her for anything, she would strike your channel. So we have a YouTube channel just striking channels down. People are like, look, YouTubers don't strike other YouTubers. It's sort of an unwritten rule. Big faceless corporations like Warner Music do that. That, YouTubers don't do that to other YouTubers. And plus, like, you're legit in a gray area of copyright. If these anime companies found out, they're going to smack you hard. Didn't phase her. Strike. She was striking channels all over the place. Now, the Japanese companies are knocking on her door, and she's purging Twitter. She's closing down the Patreon. She's moving everything over to her own site. Just like, oh, drama. It's crazy. I designed new products last night for Greg. His logo is the best I have ever seen for shirts. Cool. Should get a link. I don't know why this software resizes these things. And there's no way for me to do it before the show. I got to wait for the show to come on. And then I can't move that down while the other thing is there, because technically that other thing is on top. And it's the whole reason I bought this software, was just so I could put comments on screen like that. And I gotta futz with them. Well, good, Steve. You're a good graphic designer. MMN store. Let's check it out. Makers Media Network. This is the thing with Makers Media. Sometimes it takes a while for it to kick in. See, waiting. Oh, look, my cursor's real small. I thought I changed the preference to make that nice and big. Let me see. Oh, you can see these? Okay, cool. Video screen sharing. There we go. Cursor size, gigantic. What? Oh, why can't I? Maybe I can't change that while I'm streaming. I'll check that when I'm... Okay, let's check the store. Shop. Is it in one of the main galleries? Will it jump out at me? Not my design. I just take logos and make products to help members. Got it. What's the YouTube name? You said this was for Greg? Greg who? Harju. Portal Woodworks. Either cam overhead. Mel is here. Hello, Mel. Got it. Yeah, I was on that one. Mel, this is my open Q&A. So if you have questions, I will answer them. And I don't know if I'm going to be on too much longer. Very nice. Hopefully all is well with you. Yes, everything is well with me. Thank you for asking. I hope you're well. I see you have your protective equipment on your channel logo. I like that. Gotta be safe. I went to Home Depot with my full vapor barrier mask on, my 3M, two straps. Got not the dust filters, the vapor barriers. I need to think of a question. Well, I'm here. Anything about the YouTube, or you can ask me a question about anything else. This is an Ask Me Anything with the emphasis on anything. There's my design. Question mark sub underbar confirmation equals 1. Yeah, baby. That's what you should put on the end of your YouTube channel URL. Then when people hit it, that they get presented with a subscribe prompt. All right, Mel's got a question. So, Matt, what motivates you to do what you do on YouTube? I like sharing what I make. I'm a creative person. I don't get to be too creative in my full-time job, at least not anymore. So I do many creative things in my free time, and I like to share them. And I like to teach. I like to teach people new skills. So whenever I can add some instruction to a video piece of content, I like to do that as well. My goal was to teach on my Piano Awesome channel, but I'm very new. I've been 11 months now playing the piano, so that's basically at the beginning. And right now I'm just cataloging it through video my learning progression, and I'm having fun. I like to do like 80s hair bands on the piano because you don't really think of it piano when you think of 80s hair bands, and I love 80s hair bands. Yeah, you need to have your PPE. Yeah, that's the way I go out of the house. I go out of the house with the full mask on. I got the good one with the little bar that you click down and the whole mask just goes boop like this. Straps are still there, and then you flick the bar the other way, it goes right back on your mouth. And the newer model, they remove that feature. Why would you remove that feature? It's like the best feature ever. Matt is best at creating YouTube channels. I should make a YouTube channel on how to create YouTube channels. What made you choose the piano? Well, I wanted to learn how to read sheet music, and I wanted to learn how to play an instrument because I see many other woodworkers who are also musicians. And I've been in the creative space my whole life. I went to design college. I started my career rendering art for textbooks, then became management. And so I've mastered everything visual. Desktop programming, I got it down. Desktop programming, desktop publishing, I got it down. So Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, anything two-dimensional and visual I could do on the computer. Well, I added video editing to that. That's like another dimension, but there was all a visual type creative space. So I wanted audio. I wanted to create my own music because it seemed like the next creative outlet for me. So I've mastered the visual and now I'm moving into audio. That's why I picked the piano. And I thought piano would be easy. It's not easy. Well, I mean, it's easy in that you touch a key and you get the note. So, in order to get the note, you just have to press a key. That's easy. Some instruments, like guitars, you've got to press the right fret. Or violins and violas, like you've got to you've got to feel where on the instrument to put your finger. So in some instruments it's very, very hard to get the key that you want, to get the note that you want. But piano is both hands and your feet, which is very difficult. So I'm having a lot of trouble with it. A lot of trouble. It's not easy. So when did you learn you had a passion for teaching? After I graduated college, the college reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to, it wasn't right away, a couple years later, reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to teach evening classes for Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and Quark Express. And I said yes. And I taught adults in the evening at the college I graduated with. And it was a lot of fun. I had a knack for it. Well, I shouldn't say a knack. I enjoyed it. It took some getting used to. And yeah, so it was very early on in my career. And then when my career took the supervisor and management route, I had to do some teaching like activities to the staff. And someone said, Matt, you can translate geek to English very well. And I thought, oh yeah, I guess maybe I can. I can take very complex technical situations and explain in very plain English. And so I just, build my skills over time, and I like doing it. Is learning piano is a way for you to move to another level? Well, I mean, that sort of was my thinking. So what did you learn from your students that surprised you? I learned I had to speak up because when I was taught my first class, I wasn't speaking loud enough. And that was a problem. Mr. Shane's Hobby Shop is here. Hello, Shane. How are you? I hope you and Mom are doing well. Shane's wife is Shelly, but we collectively refer to her as Mom in a loving way because that's her channel, Know What Mom Knows. And she's kind of like a mom to some of us who are younger than her. Hope you're both doing well. I'm glad to see you here, Shane. So what did I learn from your students that surprised you? Sometimes they'll try and complete a task in a piece of software and they'll use a method that I hadn't thought of, because a lot of the desktop publishing software, there's more than one ways to do something. You want to draw a rectangle, you can use the rectangle tool, or you can take the pen tool and put 4 points and connect it. That's sort of a trivial example, but many other things, more complex things, are like that. So sometimes they'll use gradients in a way I didn't think of, or they'll layer something in a way I didn't think of, or they'll use the lock feature rather than putting something on a layer and then locking the layer. Something it usually has to do with doing it faster. So sometimes that comes up. I like that. Making the complex simple is a skill of yours. Yeah. It's not easy. You have to work on it. And you've got to know where you're going to go in your mind. And so if you speak a concept or try like a learning concept, and you know where it needs to end, the point that you need to make or the skill that you need, and you can in your mind try and figure out the fastest way to get there. And that's what I tend to do. Mr. Mark Lindsay, CNC, is in the house. He says, afternoon to you, sir, although it's evening where I'm at. 6:38 in the evening. And Shane says, we are doing great. That's wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. Hope that continues. So I'm answering some questions from Mel about what I do on the YouTubes, why I do it, and why I like teaching. Yeah, one of the videos I'm most proud of is when I took apart the DeWalt scroll saw and taught the viewer how to do that step by step, because all over YouTube there were 2-hour videos on how to do what I showed. My video is 9 minutes long. I took 2 hours of content. Some were even 4 half-hour videos on how to do everything that I did. And man, that was an editing challenge. Not that the gear or the camera was anything. It was the content, trying to fit the content. And that's doing very, very well, that video. Speaking of making the complex simple, is that something you apply to life as well? Well, haven't quite figured that out yet. I try and well, yeah, I mean, I'm a business analyst, and a business analyst tries to make things happen quicker and more accurately and less expensive. So I will often do things in life that get me to the result with the least amount of effort, whether it's always making sure something's in my hand when I go downstairs or upstairs, or just anything. And it gets kind of hard sometimes because not everyone is as efficient as I am, and they'll either comment that I'm making things more difficult when reality is I'm doing them faster and better, or I get frustrated when people do 4 operations to do something that could have done twice with 2 operations, especially like at the Subway sandwich place when they're doing something and they'll put something in the microwave and wait for it to beep while they could be doing something else. I'm just like, oh, it drives me nuts. So I tried, not always successfully. What was the factor that went into you developing so many YouTube channels, and is it working for you? Well, that last part, the jury's still out. The big factor was I was putting all things YouTube in with my woodworking channel, Awesome Wood Things. And most people enter Awesome Wood Things on one of 4 videos. 4 videos take up 90% of my watch time on my Awesome Wood Things channel. They're breakout hits. So they would come to get the content of those videos, and then they would see me talking about YouTube, and they would unsubscribe. So what got me making channels, Shane, is people were unsubscribing. I was losing the audience because of the unspoken expectation of seeing me build something in the wood shop and then having the channel have something other than that. So I thought, well, I did, I think, 40 episodes of All Things YouTube, maybe 48 episodes of All Things YouTube on Awesome Wood Things until I rolled its own channel. And now I'm up to 86, I think. Anyway, it was an attempt to stop losing subscribers over on Awesome Wood Things. And then I was really into Casey Neistat, kind of still am. And I'm like, oh, vlogging sounds like fun. I'm sort of interesting, I think. Maybe I'll try vlogging. So that was my awesome fun things. And then I'm like, well, maybe I'm going to play the piano on awesome fun things because it's awesome and it's fun. But I'm like, you know what? I like to teach. So I taught some lessons about piano. And so I rolled my own piano channel. And then I think I'm going to put on the brakes. Well, All Things Pumpkin Spice is in the works. That was a recommendation from Dave Gatton, so I might do that. And then, is it working? No, it's not working. It's not working. The channels aren't growing. I'm trying to push All Things YouTube. I really got to start slamming out videos. And yeah, so I think I'm going to try and push All Things YouTube a little harder. And by doing that, I'm going to have to make standalone videos. There's 3-minute standalone videos. I should be banging out at least 2 of them a week. And then maybe it'll go somewhere. And then Awesome Fun Things is, I don't really post much to that. And then Piano Awesome, I've got 57 subscribers. I just broke 1,000 watch minute, 1,000 something. I saw 1,000 on some piece of analytics over on Piano Awesome. Well, faster always better. Is faster always better? Most of the time. Depends what you're doing. If one channel is good, 2 must be better, and 17 channels fantastic. Well, once I get to 17, I'll let you know. That is one reason I'm hesitant to post videos on my channel. I have nothing to do with CNC, and that's what my folks come for the channel for. Yeah. All Things Taco. Well, I did have the taco meetup. I had a taco meetup called We Frickin' Love Tacos, and it was sort of like an online social thing, but it was in person. Meetup is where you meet in person. So I did have a property that was taco. It wasn't a YouTube property. It was a meetup. I don't have that anymore. DOH, I mean post videos about my shed build on my CNC channel. Yeah, it's something you've got to answer for yourself. There will always be a contingent of people who will watch you no matter what you do. But the vast majority of the internet is looking for a solution or looking to be entertained. And they have an expectation. Whether you said it out loud or not, there's an expectation. Your thumbnail and your title are an expectation of what they are going to expect. When they watch a video, they have an expectation that the next video will be on a similar genre. The way to play YouTube is all about putting yourself in the mind of the person watching and trying to figure out what that watcher's expectation is, and then meeting or exceeding those expectations. And things like, do I launch a second channel because my audience is expecting this from me, and will that be breaking their expectations? That's what it's all about. Do you think there's any room for variety channels here on YouTube in 2020? Ooh, variety as in mixed topics. You mostly no. Mostly no. It would work if the host has the charisma to hold the viewer's attention and people were tuning in for the host. Then it would work. That's very hard to do. Usually you get there after you've proven success in one niche of a channel. So that's what you mean by variety. So someone doing YouTube and woodworking and vlogging and piano all on the same channel. In almost all cases, no. I don't think there is room for that in 2020. Some of us have a lot of channels, but aren't always as active on them all. Yeah. Matt's new channel will be the taco review channel. I was thinking of having a channel where I just open mail. I didn't move forward with that. I have 3 channels. One is empty, so I guess I could post the shop shed build series over there. Yeah, it's a possibility. Yes, mixed topic. Yep, yep. I would advise against it. That's why I made my channel Shane's Hobby Shop. I not only do woodworking on my channel, but other things that fall into quote unquote hobby, like cooking, and I'm thinking about drone footage and so on. Yeah, yeah. And people have approached me and they're like, Matt, sometimes your projects here are made out of acrylic and there's no wood in them at all. You should change your channel name. And I'm like, no, I'm not changing the channel name. And to some people, woodworking is the entry point into the whole umbrella of all the different mediums you can use in making. And I'm sort of capitalizing on that. It's awesome with no matter what material I use. It's always going to be awesome with things, and that's just a personal preference. Oh, okay. It's like red skeleton. Not sure what that means. Mark has had really good success with his CNC stuff, so I'm thinking of starting a CNC channel. I would be careful, Dave. You really have to know a lot about that subject. So, maybe you should get educated. Just kidding. Just kidding. Dave knows more about CNC than almost anyone on the planet. Red Skeleton had a great personality. Oh, yeah. Could get away with it all. Like I say, it's hard for me to. I try never to say never, but yeah, for some people it would work. Do taco reviews and answer the age-old question, what is a taco and what can you make them with? Good content ideas. Do you do consulting? I have cash, Steve. I'd look into it, Dave. It appears to be catching on the CNC topic. Yeah. And if you need a new machine, I know a fella. Skelton. Sorry. Skelton. Studio Geek 32 is here. He says, hey, Studio Geek 32. Glad you're back on the channel. Look who it is. Know what mom knows. Hi, Matt. This is why I have now branched off into my Many on a Mission channel, sharing the good news of God's love through Christ, because it was so different than the Woodworking Maker channel. You know what? You got to follow your passions. You got a passion? I recommend rolling a YouTube channel. Now, doing it for fun and a successful business venture, yeah, I know how to do that, but many of my channels are there for fun. Though I'm trying to make a couple of them work, especially nowadays when I have less income because of the global pandemic. I will be going back to some woodworking and maker videos on Know What Mom Knows this summer. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I like your... You have a good on-camera presence, Shelly. You're like, let's talk about Jesus, 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 Jesus. Oh, what was I talking about? Jesus. I was laughing. Have you given me some... Oh, you have given me some great insight, Matt. Whoa, well, hey. Excellent. Excellent. It depends. It depends what your goals are. I mean, a lot of people do it just for fun. Al Forte from Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop, that's his slogan, just for fun. He puts all kinds of stuff on his channel, but you know what? He's not trying to be a breakout success. He's doing it just for fun. So, I mean, in that context, yeah, if you want to do a variety channel and you don't expect you're not going for huge growth, man, go for it. Mr. Rubin is back. Hello, Mr. Rubin. Good to have you back on the channel. This is just my open Q&A. I'm answering questions. So as long as the questions keep flowing, I'll keep the chatterbox going. Ha 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 ha. I love you, Matt. I love you too, Shelly. And I love Shane too. I love you both. Oh, there's my Stream Elements bot. If you're not on the Facebook group, clicky do that link. It's a good place to hang out, get your questions answered, and to answer questions. It feels good to give. You don't always have to take. It feels good to, tell someone the answer that they're looking for. I like it. I like it a lot. Yes, yes, yes. Mom is here and she is ready to rock. She is a networking fool. Oh, hey, have you seen over on Brenda G's Designs the last? Go look up the last Mind Equals Blown. Brenda has a Google form that will take your channel name and your channel URL that you paste in the form, and then that goes into a read-only spreadsheet, and then you can check out different channels. And if you like the channels, you can push some red buttons and subscribe. So that's it. Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man? Ooh, baby. I like them both. Yeah, I like them both. And I think I was going to make a comment on the fruit. I think one of those fruit are only a Miss Pac-Man fruit and not a Pac-Man. No, never mind. I think they all... Did Pac-Man have the soft pretzel? Anyway, yeah. I dig it. I like the Pac-Man. Pac-Man's a fun... coin-operated arcade games, all over it. That was my jam. I was 14 with a paper route, and I would take a couple dollars on the bicycle up to the bowling alley, and I would play all the arcade games in the bowling alley with my paper route money. And Pac-Man was there, and Galaga, and Rampage, and Joust. Loved it. Asteroids, Missile Command, good vibes. Everybody needs to believe in something. I believe it's time to get a cup of coffee. Ain't no bad time for coffee. I will drink a scalding hot cup of coffee on the beach in 110-degree weather. Pac-Man all the way. There you go. I like Pac-Man. Pac-Man's a fun game. I was watching videos on the programming of Pac-Man, and if you get to a certain level, the machine just freaks out. And they were talking about the stack overflow that would happen, and they were talking about how Inky would always go to where you are, and the blue one would go 2 spots where it thought you were going to go, and the other one the pink one would try and intercept you 2 spots where you just were, and then the orange one, Clyde, is just very low intelligence. So with that, you can try and predict how they're going to come and attack you. What's up with linking to people's channels from the chat? That's gone for some reason. There's no explanation on the internet why they removed that feature. It's been about 3 weeks, as far as I can tell, that it's been gone. Fifth Element or The Matrix. The Fifth Element is my favorite movie of all time, of all genres. The Fifth Element is bang on, right up there. The Matrix, that's top 10. That's a top 10 movie by far. It's the first one. Second, third, they're all garbage. The first one was awesome. And I got The Matrix on DVD when DVDs were a thing. Like before, hardly anyone had DVD players. I had The Matrix on DVD. I loved it. And the Matrix had a lot of visual effects that were unique. Like when Keanu Reeves went back and the bullets flew past him, they set up 30 digital cameras in an arc, and they all took a picture at that moment, and then the camera panned, frozen in time. It's like, I dig it. I dig the Matrix. But Fifth Element, baby, oh my God, Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich. Oh my God, Mila Jovovich. She was 19 years old when she was an actress in The Fifth Element, and oh my God, she is amazing. I've played them on emulators on the PC. Yep, I have an emulator 3 feet in that direction that has Pac-Man on it. The coin-op element, yeah, it's MacMame is what it's called. I don't know why they call it Mac. It's not Macintosh. It's Machine Arcade something, MAC emulator, and yeah, I've got them. I've got a lot of games on Donkey Kong. Yep, I played Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. Yeah, they were fun. They were fun. Joust is the king. I know. I've got my Joust artwork over there that I made. What they put on the side of the machine, the ostrich with the knight. Yes, Here's my claim to fame. Okay, I had my ostrich grabbed by the lava troll, so he captured me, and a shadow lord was coming after me. I killed the shadow lord. The lava troll released me, and I got the shadow lord's egg before it fell in the lava. You can't get a better expert move on Joust than that. I'm sorry, folks. I don't speak in absolute, but I am the best there ever was at Joust. I play the F out of Joust. Frogger was fun. Have you ever seen Frogger now? It looks like total garbage. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, this was the best game ever. It's mostly purple. There's no green in the game hardly at all. But yeah, Frogger was fun. Yeah. I used to play a lot of Pac-Man in the bar, and I never won. I'm not sure why. Winky face. Well, Pac-Man's a game where you can turn it around. Like you're being chased, and then you eat the power pellet, and then you become the chaser. Did you watch the movie Scott Pilgrim Saves the World? He tries to pick up the girl by talking about Pac-Man history. He starts talking about how Paco is anyway, he starts talking about it was going to be called Puck-Man, but they thought they would defoul the P and turn it into an F, and it would be called Fuckman, and they didn't want that graffiti to happen, so they named it Pac-Man. Anyway, girl wasn't impressed. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade for me. Yeah, the Temple of Doom, the first one. I remember when the movie critics came out. They're like, if you see one movie this week, one movie this year, one movie this decade, or one movie this lifetime, it's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, because that movie broke ground in cinematic history for sure. No Bullet Time was stolen from the Max Payne video game. Okay. Load asterisk 8-1. Don't know what that means. Do you still have the Wall of Fame? I have the Wall of Awesome in my wood shop, where I put projects that people give me or I win, and some of my own projects. I have that, if that's what you're talking about, in the wood shop. Yeah. It's got Mark Lindsay's Maker's Rock album on there. It's got a couple of my Maker's Rock albums. Got some other tchotchkes I've picked up along the way. I love original Frogger only. Good on ya. Good on ya. Classic. A classic arcade lover like myself. See? Shelley, you are just more and more wonderful every moment. Then you switched games and died of dysentery. Oh, okay. You're talking one of those choose your own adventure games. Yeah. Gotcha. Coin-op games are the best. They're the best. Someone printed out the source code for Rampage in a spiral bound, like a 4-inch spiral bound folder, and it was the dot matrix. I think that's what it took to write the code for Rampage. I think you mean Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, right. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, Indiana Jones. Whatever the first one was. Yeah, Indiana Jones, whatever the first one was. Yes. He he he. Got to run, Matt. Next time, be on time, and I'll stay for the finale. Okay, no problem, Dave. You know that's the way. That's the way you should have a mindset on YouTube. It's like if people have time for your stuff, they have time for your stuff. If they watch 1 out of 5, they watch. Be thankful for what they give you. You know, you can't. I the way I play it is I don't put an expectation on you. I mean, I love when you watch my stuff. I love when you comment. I love when you like. I love when you share. I love the engagement. I love talking to people. I love it, love it, love it. But like some people get bent out of shape. Oh, this person over there used to like every one of my videos I posted, but now they only like 2 out of the 5. I'm like, dude, relax. It's like they don't owe you anything. It's all good, Dave. All good. Okay, that's the command to load the disk menu on a Commodore 64. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, Raiders was first. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Harrison Ford. Good movie. Good movie. But man, I love me some Fifth Element. Did you see Adam Savage built the gun that Zorg had with all the like the crate, like the missiles that would lock on, and the freeze ray and the fireball, all that stuff. Yeah, you could target someone and then turn your back, and the bullets would turn around and get them. Yeah, he made a replica of that. I did leave a thumbs up, brother. Thank you, Dave. I love sci-fi movies. I love good sci-fi movies. I like sci-fi movies that could actually happen, that use proper physics, and they're not just magic. I'm a space wizard with a laser sword. No, homie, don't play that. I like good science fiction. And Fifth Element, for as fun of a ride as it was all logic, and the science was sound in it, and I like that. Lilo Dallas Multipass. Aziz Light. I got an age-old question for you. What's the best time to upload a new video? Well, YouTube is just rolling out a new feature, and 10% of YouTube channels have it. It's a heat map of when people who watch your videos are on YouTube. That'll tell you. And you could go into, I think, Morning Fame or TubeBuddy as a paid subscriber to those services, and they will tell you the same thing. It's different. It's different for each YouTuber, and it's different for what time zone their audiences are in. Raiders of the Lost Ark is still one of my faves. My favorite George Lucas movie is still American Graffiti. Okay, yeah. No, gonna look up that video. Chicken, good. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah. Yeah, great movie. I mean, I like Aliens. Let me back up. I like Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott is a brilliant director, and his movies that he directs, now not all of the Aliens franchise, it's so real. You're so engrossed in the world that the characters are in, you could almost smell the atmosphere. Like, I know that's a funky analogy, but the storytelling is compelling, and everything is just as if you were there. I don't know how he does it. Ridley Scott is a brilliant director. So I love his stuff. He did Prometheus, and he did the other Alien, the one after that, which some people didn't like. I loved him. Loved him. Love his stuff. You mentioned that you might create 2 videos per week at 3 minutes each. Why 3 minutes each? Is that better than 10-minute video or a 20-minute video? Well, 3 minutes is just like a catch-all for me. Short. I like short videos. I like to get in and get out. And the content on All Things YouTube is usually one new feature or topic that doesn't take a long time to explain. Here's the feature. Here's what it does. Here's how to use it. Here's why it's good. Here's why it's not good. Here's why it's not good. Get in, get out, that type of thing. Just works for me. But no, the amount of time your video should be is the amount of time you need to convey the content. And it should be as short as possible. Like I said, I have a 9, almost 10-minute video, but I took 2 hours of content and crunched it down into 9 minutes. But, so I got to run too, Matt. I actually work on a project video right now. All right, Shane, thanks for stopping by. I love Tim Burton movies. Yes, he's a great director as well. I schedule my videos to go live on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. I figure folks can watch with their morning coffee. Then I promote them on Facebook at 9 Pacific. It's working well so far. Excellent. Covenant. Yes, Alien Covenant. Man, I love. Yeah, those were good movies. I'm a fan of the Pet Cemetery stuff too. I just wish Stephen King, like all of his good stuff was made back when technology was like in the 80s, and special effects weren't that good. But I read Stephen King's Pet Cemetery. I read the book, and I liked the TV version. No, I guess it was the first movie version of it, and I caught the second movie version of it too. But yeah, I don't know. I like good stuff like Battlestar Galactica. All in on the Battlestar Galactica reboot. That was just brilliant. And again, step back. The science was sound. Like everything they did, all the technology was as if it would really work that way. And they didn't make any crazy plot holes or, it was, oh my God, and what a story. I think Battlestar Galactica, the rebooted Battlestar Galactica, the 4.5 seasons that they did, I think it's the second best entertainment product Hollywood has ever created. And I group television and movies into one thing. Yeah. Battlestar Galactica, so good. So how long is this 5-minute live stream? It goes until there's no more questions. I prefer to read my movies as books. Yeah, so do I. Event Horizon, Total Real Science. That was a good movie. Didn't quite catch me like some of the other ones did, but yeah, that's a good one. The best entertainment product ever created, Breaking Bad. Now, it's not science fiction, but my God, that is how to do entertainment properly. Breaking Bad, did you know they sketched out the entire fucking show from season 1 to the end before they even shot the first scene? And it's just brilliant how he went from a dorky, life's kicking him in the balls teacher in a public school to a kingpin drug lord, and that progression in his mind was evenly paced over 4 seasons, and he just slipped into madness ever so slowly, and it was so brilliantly put together. I don't think there will ever be an entertainment product better than Breaking Bad, ever. Never watched Breaking Bad. I'm a rebel like that. I'm telling you what, Bryan Cranston, and look, first of all, the entire acting cast is spectacular as actors and actresses. And some of them were, that was their breakout. I mean, it was they were new, but they were all brilliant. Like they could teach classes on acting. That's how good they were. And in the final episode, they had to redo the shot because the cameraman started crying because the actors were so believable and it was such a heart-wrenching scene. The cameraman's crying got into the audio and they had to reshoot it. Can you imagine that? It's nuts. It's nuts. I'll tell you what, Kevin Spacey wrote Bryan Cranston a letter because Kevin Spacey uses the same agent as Bryan Cranston. And he said, look, I've never met you. I've never talked to you. You don't have to publish this, but I'm just telling you straight up that your acting was better than I have ever seen in my entire career as an actor on this planet. And he's like, I'm just straight up telling you, just because I really enjoyed it. And he's dead on. He's dead on, too. When you were talking about Stephen King, it made me think about YouTubers. The small channels tend to offer some of the best content because they try so hard. When people get fame, they get lazy. Well, I think there's a lot of truth to that. And there's a technology solution, too. There's a plugin that will remove all of Hollywood's content from YouTube. So Jimmy Kimmel, gone. Ellen DeGeneres, gone. All the late night talk shows, it'll strip it off of off of the front page of YouTube. I love it. I got to figure out what it is. I don't have any details, but I know it exists. No matter how good the LOTR and the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies are, the books are the best. Loved Silmarillion as well. Okay, yeah. Those books were amazing. There are YouTube videos that just talk about how the whole world's set up. How the four wizards are like kind of angelic, and they talk about the ring and the actual powers it has. The powers manifest itself just in a very few minor ways. You could kind of become invisible for a little bit, and it sort of affects your mind. But really, I mean, they're like, and they talked about the history, how the different races were created and why some races live long. It's very. The author really thought through the whole Lord of the Rings and, The Hobbit, the world that he created, or he or she, who created that. Anyway, yeah, but I'm a cultural infidel. The more people rave about how great something is, the more I know I'm not going to like it. Well, to each his own. Yo, what's the name of that plugin? Damn. I'll see if I can find it off camera. I don't know if it's like Hollywood Blocker or a Primetime Blocker or something like that for YouTube. Browser plugin that works with YouTube. Don't get me started on Lord of the Rings. Might be a 5-hour stream then. Well, the first 3, they did 2 years of post-production. Pre-production. So they storyboarded the whole thing. I mean, they got that shit down tight. And a lot of people will tell you that the first 3 were far better. Now, the whole thing is spectacular, in my opinion. But the first 3, as far as the story and just the whole package, the first 3 were better. And then the last 3, they had production issues. They didn't have as much time to write the scripts. There was a lot of reshoots, and they jammed in the whole love triangle stupid thing in at the end. And but yeah, the first 3 I think are probably top 5 in all of Hollywood cinematic history. The Lord of the Rings, yeah, without a doubt. Mark's got to run. Okay, heading for the store. Got a jet. Laters, Matt. Yep. Bye, Mark. Have a good one, brother. Yeah, I like me some sci-fi. Well, how long have I been on? My goodness. Oh, dear Lord, an hour. Okay, I'm going to shut this down. Thanks for stopping by on this late 5-minute Ask Me Anything. I'm here every weekday. No, I'm sorry, every day in April at 5:30 p.m. answering questions. And my big show is Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, where I talk for an hour about all things YouTube that are new and different on YouTube. Keep you posted. All right, we're leaving it here. Bye, folks. Stay awesome. I'm kind of glad I started late because I got to see a bunch of people that I don't think can make the earlier one. Yeah, but he messed up when he excluded Tom. Oh, yeah. Yeah, great show, Matt. Thank you. Thanks, Steve. Thank you, everyone. Mr. Rubin, Mark Lindsay, I know you stepped out. Harniel Media, Know What Mom Knows. Shane, I know you bugged out too. Dave, I think you may or may not still be here. Mel, good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Steve. All right, take care. Signing off. Bye.